What is up, guys? Welcome to a Straight Edge Wrestling breaking news podcast. It is February 24th, and well, a bit of news was broken today, which I don't think anyone really saw coming, which was that Paul White, the Big Show, has signed with AEW, All Elite Wrestling on TNT. It's pretty surreal. I mean, Paul White has been with WWE in some form or another consistently for over 20 years now. It's quite impressive. I mean, we didn't even hear any rumors about this, but AEW have announced today that he is going to be joining not only as a wrestler, but also in this press release, which I've just put up on the screen here. They've said that 2021 AEW is going to be going through an awful lot of changes, and complementing AEW Dark on Tuesday, AEW will be launching AEW Dark Elevation, and it's going to air on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, which is prior to WWE, I believe. I think that means it's on an hour before in the United States. And they've said it will showcase AEW's established and rising stars, as well as the top independent wrestlers within the industry competing against each other in the ring in pursuit of wins. So he's going to be acting as commentator on that show as well. I mean, this is a big get for AEW. I mean, he's been with WWE since February 9th, 1999. So he's been with WWE for a long time. Obviously, making his debut with WWE in the infamous cage match with Vince and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And in that time, he was still pretty green. Obviously, in WCW, he got that big push with Hogan and all that, beating Hogan on basically on his debut. And then he came to WWF, was quite green, so they sent him down to developmental. They trained him up. And then he's been a fixture there for a long time. It's incredible. I mean, it seems as though he didn't have much of a sort of farewell in WWE. We didn't even hear that his contract had expired with the WWE, to be honest. We just know that most talent, by all reports from Fightful and others, have said that most talent didn't know he was leaving. They didn't know his contract was up, and that there wasn't sort of this grand farewell, like lots of these guys have got. Like when Moxley left the company, WWE set up a goodbye show for him. So this is a big get for AEW. I mean, Paul White, obviously he's in his later years. He's not as agile as he used to be, but in recent years he's started to look fitter in himself. He's been getting a lot better. He's been taking care of himself a lot more. He stopped smoking. He was infamous for being a heavy smoker. He stopped all that sort of stuff. But it's incredible how well they managed to keep this sort of under wraps. By all accounts, I've seen Sean Ross at PW and a few others have said that AEW talent didn't know he was really coming in either. Obviously, Tony Khan had insinuated on some podcasts and some interviews this week that they had some big talents that were coming up soon, and they weren't going to announce who. Well, I mean, there we go. You don't get much bigger than the Big Show. It's pretty incredible. I kind of assumed that he was a lifer, right, in WWE at this point. But hey, if they weren't going to use him, they weren't going to use him. This is an incredible get. They're advertising Big Show Paul White as part of tonight's lineup, which you can see here. This is tonight's lineup on AEW. They've got Sting on the roster, obviously, but they've got AEW Dark Elevation, the announcement on that, proper announcement on that, and the signing of Paul White, the Big Show. So I don't know where we are as to their taping schedule, whether or not they're still taping a week ahead, or if tonight's is legit live, because they normally tape one, do one live, just a week on, week out. So if tonight's live, then maybe he'll be there, maybe not, if not via video or something. I hope he's there. That would be kind of cool. I saw a lot of people online sort of, speculate as to why they didn't wait, why they didn't just let him have the surprise appearance. But without the mass crowd, due to COVID, without the mass crowd, I don't really know that it would have had the same impact, you know, maybe with the television viewer, but we're getting just as hyped up, those on Twitter, and those who aren't on Twitter and on the social media sites, well, they'll tune into the show tonight and be just as surprised. You know, this is a big get for AEW. They have signed someone who has been with the WWE for 22 years, someone who has been champion multiple times within the company. You know, he was with WCW. He was a 7-time world champion. He held the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, the WWE title, the heavyweight title, even the ECW title. You know, he's been tag champ multiple times, US champ, hardcore champ. He's done an incredible amount. He's one of the very few Grand Slam winners in WWE history. You know, so this is crazy. I mean, it's really crazy. But we'll be following along live, AEW tonight. Head on over and follow us at SEW_podcast. You can see it up above. All the links are down below. Like and subscribe to us here on this channel. We're going to be doing a lot more breaking news stuff like this as and when it pops up. And we'll see you next time for another video. Peace out.